1965 Washington quarter is a coin that, at first glance, might not seem particularly special. However, this seemingly ordinary coin holds a significant place in the history of U.S. coinage due to a key transition in the materials used to produce it. In 1965, the U.S. government made the decision to switch from using 90% silver in coins to a copper-nickel-clad composition, primarily due to a national shortage of silver. This change was part of a larger effort to control the rising costs of coin production and preserve the country's silver reserves. The new copper-nickel-clad composition replaced the silver used in previous coins, resulting in a coin that was both less expensive to produce and more durable in everyday circulation. The 1965 Washington quarter was part of this transition, and it became the first quarter in U.S. history to be made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, marking a significant shift in the nation's coinage system. On the surface, this might appear to be an ordinary change, but it had an unexpected result that would make some 1965 quarters exceptionally valuable. Due to a mistake at the U.S. Mint, a small number of 1965 Washington quarters were struck with the old 90% silver composition, despite the switch to copper-nickel. These silver quarters were produced unintentionally, and they are now among the rarest and most sought-after coins in modern American numismatics. Since the vast majority of 1965 Washington quarters were made with the copper-nickel-clad composition, these silver versions stand out as an anomaly, making them highly prized by collectors and numismatists alike. The value of a 1965 silver Washington quarter can be staggering, with well-preserved examples fetching anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 or more, depending on the condition of the coin and the presence of any other unique minting errors. The value of these coins is largely driven by their rarity, as only a small number of silver quarters were accidentally minted in 1965. This mistake, coupled with the historical significance of the coin, makes it one of the most desirable finds for coin collectors. In addition to its rarity, the value of a 1965 silver Washington quarter can be further increased if it features any minting errors. Coins that have been struck with doubled dies, misaligned strikes, or other anomalies can be worth even more, as collectors are often willing to pay a premium for coins that display such unique characteristics. A 1965 Washington quarter with an error, such as a misstruck coin or a doubled die, can potentially increase the coin's value by several $1,000s, making it even more valuable to those who are looking to add rare pieces to their collections. The rarity of the 1965 silver Washington quarter is compounded by the fact that it is difficult to distinguish from the regular copper-nickel-clad quarters at first glance. The two types of coins look almost identical, and the only real way to tell the difference by inspecting the coin's composition or examining it under a magnifying glass to look for small signs that might indicate silver content. While a magnet can help identify the copper-nickel-clad coins, it will not attract the silver quarters, so testing the coin's metal content is one of the best ways to confirm whether a 1965 quarter is made of silver or clad. Collectors who are lucky enough to find one of these rare 1965 silver Washington quarters can expect it to be a highly valuable addition to their collection. Coins like these are often sold at auction, where they can fetch significant amounts depending on the level of interest among bidders. The historical importance of the coin, combined with its rarity and potential for unique variations, makes it an exciting find for anyone with an interest in coin collecting. The 1965 Washington quarter's place in U.S. coinage history is also notable because it represents the end of an era in which silver was a primary component of many U.S. coins. After the transition to copper-nickel-clad coins in 1965, the use of silver in U.S. currency was significantly reduced, with only a few exceptions, such as the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar, which was the last to contain 90% silver. The shift to clad coins was a major turning point, and the accidental minting of silver quarters that year serves as a reminder of this transitional period in American currency production. Today, the 1965 Washington quarter remains a popular target for collectors, particularly those with an interest in rare and valuable coins. Due to the rarity of the 1965 silver version, it is considered one of the most important coins of the 20th century. The search for these rare quarters has led many to carefully inspect their change, hoping to uncover a hidden gem from this pivotal year in U.S. coinage. While not every 1965 quarter will be a valuable silver version, those that are can command substantial sums on the market, making it a coin worth keeping an eye out for. The 1976 bicentennial quarter is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the United States independence. Released in 1975 and 1976, the bicentennial quarter features a unique design that differs from the standard Washington quarter. The coin was part of a larger effort to mark the milestone of the nation's bicentennial and became an essential part of the celebration. While the coin was minted in large quantities and was widely circulated, there are certain rare versions that stand out, particularly those with errors that make them highly sought after by collectors. The most noticeable feature of the 1976 bicentennial quarter is its reverse design, which showcases a colonial drummer. This design, created by artist Jack A. P. for the U.S. Mint, was chosen to represent the spirit of American independence and the Revolutionary period. The drummer, depicted in full colonial regalia, symbolizes the colonial militias that played a vital role in the American Revolution. The reverse design contrasts with the more traditional Washington quarter reverse, featuring an eagle in flight. This new reverse was a key part of the bicentennial celebration and is one of the reasons the coin remains so memorable today. The obverse of the 1976 bicentennial quarter continues to feature George Washington's profile, as was customary for the quarter design. However, it was also modified for the occasion, with the date, 1776 to 1976, displayed on the face of the coin, marking the nation's 200th anniversary. This change in design, along with the new reverse, made the bicentennial quarter a special collector's item from the moment it was released. The coin was issued in massive numbers, with over 1.6 billion bicentennial quarters minted, making it widely accessible and one of the most circulated coins of its time. Despite the high mintage, the 1976 bicentennial quarter holds a special place in U.S. numismatic history because of its unique design and the anniversary it commemorates. It quickly became a favorite among collectors, and its connection to the bicentennial celebration helped solidify its place as a symbol of American pride. For most people, the 1976 bicentennial quarter may seem like a common coin, especially considering the vast number produced, but there is a hidden treasure for collectors in certain rarities. The real value in the 1976 bicentennial quarter comes when you find a version that has been struck with a major error. During the minting process, some of the coins were struck improperly, leading to rare varieties that can command high prices. One of the most sought-after errors is the doubled die, which occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled. This error is noticeable on the lettering and other parts of the design, making it easy for collectors to identify. In addition to the doubled die, other types of misalignment errors can also occur, including off-center strikes or coins that were struck with the wrong planchet. These types of errors can make the coin highly valuable, especially if they are well preserved and show the error clearly. The rarity of these errors, combined with the popularity of the bicentennial quarter itself, means that finding one with a major minting mistake could significantly increase its value. A 1976 bicentennial quarter with a significant minting error, such as a double die or other misalignment, can be worth over $15,000 depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. The condition of the coin plays a critical role in determining its value. Coins in mint condition, free from wear and damage, are always worth more than those that have been heavily circulated. Collectors are often willing to pay top dollar for well-preserved error coins, and the demand for them can drive prices up even further. The bicentennial quarter's widespread popularity among collectors also adds to its value. Many people save these coins as souvenirs during the national celebration, making them relatively common. However, the demand for rare and unique errors, such as the doubled die, keeps the market alive and competitive. These coins remain highly desirable to those who focus on error coins or those looking to complete their collection of U.S. bicentennial-related numismatics. Even though most 1976 bicentennial quarters are not worth more than their face value, the coins that feature errors or unusual variations are prized possessions for collectors. The excitement of searching for an error coin and the potential for discovering a rare, valuable find is part of what makes collecting coins such an engaging hobby. The 1976 bicentennial quarter, with its historical significance and potential for error varieties, continues to captivate collectors and remains a key piece in the world of American numismatics. In addition to its collectible value, the bicentennial quarter holds a place of sentimental value for many people who lived through the celebration of America's 200th anniversary. It's a coin that encapsulates a moment in time and reflects the spirit of patriotism and national pride that was felt during the bicentennial festivities. Today, the 1976 bicentennial quarter is still a beloved piece of U.S. history, and finding an error coin can make it an even more cherished item for numismatists. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar holds a unique place in the history of U.S. currency, though its legacy is often considered controversial. Designed to replace the larger Eisenhower dollar, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was intended to be a smaller and more convenient alternative, with the hope of increasing the usage of the dollar coin in daily transactions. However, the design faced significant criticism for its similarity in size to the quarter, which led to confusion and contributed to its failure to gain widespread acceptance. Despite its intended purpose of simplifying coin usage, the coin's similarity to the quarter resulted in many people not noticing it in circulation, which ultimately led to its limited success. The obverse of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, a prominent women's rights activist and a leader in the movement for women's suffrage. The reverse side of the coin showcases an eagle in flight, a design similar to the one seen on earlier dollar coins like the Eisenhower dollar. This coin marked a historical milestone as the first U.S. coin to feature a woman other than Liberty, an achievement that made the coin significant in terms of its design. Despite the historical importance of the coin's design, however, its practicality was questioned due to its small size, which caused it to be frequently mistaken for a quarter. This confusion made it harder for the coin to gain a foothold in everyday use, and it quickly faded from circulation after its release. Though the coin's popularity was limited during its initial circulation, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar has since become a sought-after collectible. Coin collectors have shown particular interest in coins with specific variations or mint errors. The relatively low circulation of these coins has meant that many examples remain in good condition, making them attractive to collectors who value well-preserved specimens. In particular, certain rare variations of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar can command high prices, making them highly desirable in the numismatic world. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar holds a unique place in the history of U.S. currency, though its legacy is often considered controversial. Designed to replace the larger Eisenhower dollar, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was intended to be a smaller and more convenient alternative, with the hope of increasing the usage of the dollar coin in daily transactions. However, the design faced significant criticism for its similarity in size to the quarter, which led to confusion and contributed to its failure to gain widespread acceptance. Despite its intended purpose of simplifying coin usage, the coin's similarity to the quarter resulted in many people not noticing it in circulation, which ultimately led to its limited success. The obverse of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, a prominent women's rights activist and a leader in the movement for women's suffrage. The reverse side of the coin showcases an eagle in flight, a design similar to the one seen on earlier dollar coins like the Eisenhower dollar. This coin marked a historical milestone as the first U.S. coin to feature a woman other than Liberty, an achievement that made the coin significant in terms of its design. Despite the historical importance of the coin's design, however, its practicality was questioned due to its small size, which caused it to be frequently mistaken for a quarter. This confusion made it harder for the coin to gain a foothold in everyday use, and it quickly faded from circulation after its release. Though the coin's popularity was limited during its initial circulation, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar has since become a sought-after collectible. Coin collectors have shown particular interest in coins with specific variations or mint errors. The relatively low circulation of these coins has meant that many examples remain in good condition, making them attractive to collectors who value well-preserved specimens. In particular, certain rare variations of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar can command high prices, making them highly desirable in the numismatic world. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar is an iconic coin in the history of U.S. currency and holds a special place among collectors. It is particularly well known for its connection to President John F. Kennedy, whose portrait graces the obverse of the coin. The coin was first issued in 1964, shortly after the assassination of Kennedy, as a tribute to the 35th President of the United States. However, the 1971 version of the Kennedy half dollar is especially significant for a key reason: it was the first half dollar to be minted with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This marked a departure from the earlier half dollars, which were composed of 90% silver. This transition to a clad composition was part of broader changes in U.S. coinage due to rising silver prices in the 1960s, which made it increasingly expensive to produce coins using large amounts of silver. Before the 1971 version, the Kennedy half dollar contained 90% silver, which made it highly valued not only as currency but also as a form of silver bullion. However, as silver prices surged in the 1960s, the U.S. Mint made the decision to change the composition of the coin in an effort to curb costs. The new copper-nickel-clad composition was designed to look and feel similar to the earlier silver coins but was much cheaper to produce. This shift was part of a larger trend in U.S. coinage at the time, which saw the replacement of silver with more affordable metals like copper and nickel. The design of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar features a portrait of President Kennedy on the obverse, which was created by sculptor Gilroy Roberts. Kennedy's image is depicted in profile, with a subtle, yet dignified, expression that captures the spirit of the era. The reverse of the coin shows the presidential seal, which features an eagle holding a shield and olive branch, symbolizing peace and strength. The overall design of the Kennedy half-dollar was meant to be a tribute to the president, and it remains one of the most recognizable designs in U.S. coinage history. What sets the 1971 version apart from other years is the significant change in the coin's composition. While previous Kennedy half-dollars were made from a mixture of silver and copper, the 1971 coin was produced with a clad composition, consisting of an inner core of pure copper and two outer layers of copper-nickel. This shift in metal composition affected the coin's appearance, weight, and overall production process. The new design also made the coin more durable and resistant to wear, although it was less valuable in terms of precious metal content. Despite its relatively low face value and the transition to a copper-nickel composition, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar has become highly sought after by collectors. Part of this demand is due to the historical significance of the coin, as it marks a key moment in U.S. coinage history with the switch from silver to clad coins. The coin also serves as a lasting tribute to President Kennedy, whose legacy continues to resonate with many Americans. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is an enduring symbol of the nation's respect for Kennedy and his contributions to the country. What truly makes the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar particularly valuable to collectors are certain errors and variations that occurred during the minting process. If you happen to come across a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with an error such as a double die, a misstruck coin, or any other minting mistake, the value of the coin could skyrocket. A double die error occurs when the design of the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a visible doubling of the coin's design elements. This is a rare and highly prized mistake in coin production, and it can greatly increase the coin's worth. Similarly, misstruck coins that have significant design flaws or anomalies can also fetch high prices among collectors, particularly if they are well preserved. In some cases, the value of a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with notable errors can reach as high as $10,000 or more. The specific value will depend on the rarity and severity of the error, as well as the overall condition of the coin. Coins that feature visible and dramatic errors, such as a double die or misaligned strikes, are especially prized because they are so rare and difficult to find. Collectors often seek out these unique specimens to add to their collections, and they are willing to pay a premium for coins that stand out due to their minting flaws. Even without any errors, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar remains valuable to collectors due to its historical importance and its role in the evolution of U.S. coinage. The switch from silver to a copper-nickel clad composition was a significant moment in U.S. history, and as such, the 1971 coin has become a key date in the series of Kennedy half-dollars. Many collectors look for this coin to complete their collections, especially those focused on the Kennedy series or the broader history of U.S. coinage. In addition to its historical and collector value, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is also notable for its continued role in circulation. Although the coin was initially designed as a commemorative piece, it continued to circulate for years and remains in use to this day. However, the coin's low face value and large size made it less commonly used in daily transactions compared to smaller denominations like the quarter or the dime. As a result, the coin is relatively rare in circulation, and finding one in excellent condition can be difficult. For collectors, this rarity, combined with the potential for mint errors, makes the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar an exciting piece to search for. Whether you're looking for a coin with a rare error or a well-preserved example of this historically significant coin, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar remains a highly prized collectible. The coin's value can fluctuate over time based on demand and the availability of rare variations, but it consistently. The